Do you pay yourself? If you're ranching for profit, you do. If you're ranching for profit, you have to. You have to pay yourself what it would cost to replace yourself. It's the only way to know if your business is really profitable. Otherwise, you're subsidizing the ranch with free labor. Sure, you can do that if you want to, but don't kid yourself. If the business can't afford to pay you, then you're subsidizing the ranch. And if the ranch can't stand on its own without subsidies, then it's not profitable. And if it's not profitable, it's not sustainable. In fact, if it's not profitable, it's not really a business. It's a hobby. If the business can't afford to pay you, you should still show the wage it should be paying you on the books. You can call it deferred wages or a loan back to the business, but you have to record it. 3 reasons. 1, if you don't, you won't really know if you're profitable. 2nd, if there are people who live off the ranch who have a stake in the business and you're subsidizing the ranch with free labor or underpaid labor, they're going to want more than they're entitled to. Now, you need to document the true cost of running the business so that they see what's really going on. And the true cost includes your labor. And 3, the 3rd reason it's important to pay yourself what it would cost to replace yourself, it's important to separate your life financially from your business. That paycheck that you should be paying yourself, or the funds that should get transferred, they should be deposited into a personal account. You live your life out of that personal account. That's one of the most important things you can do to separate your life from your business. And that leads to a happier life and a healthier business. How much should you pay yourself? I remember a corporate executive who bought a ranch and told me he wanted to replace his corporate salary. I asked him what he intended to do to earn it. He said, "I love to irrigate." Well, I'm sorry. If you're going to irrigate, you're going to get irrigator wages. If you're the cowboy, you're going to get the cowboy's wages. If you're the CEO, you get paid like a CEO, provided you're a competent CEO. Here's the deal. You don't get paid for what you could do. You get paid for what you actually do. But you're probably both the cowboy and the CEO. So let's work this out. Let's say you take 2 mornings a week to work on the business, 2 mornings a week to be the business manager or the CEO doing the $100 an hour work, like we recommend at the Ranching for Profit School. That's roughly 20% of your time working on the business, the $100 an hour work. The other 80% of the time, you're the cowboy working in the business, say earning $15 an hour. Of course, the wage is going to depend on where you are and how good you are. But for now, let's say I could replace the Whitby work that I do with $15 an hour. If that's what it would cost to hire somebody to do the work that I'm doing, that's what I should pay myself to do it. Okay, $100 an hour for 4 hours. That's $400 a morning, 2 mornings a week. Let's say that's 50 weeks a year to make the math easy. That's $40,000. Don't think you're worth $100 an hour? Maybe you aren't. But if you aren't worth $100 an hour, then you aren't a competent CEO or business manager. Maybe it's time you thought about investing in some business training. I happen to know a place where you can get that. Okay, $40,000 for 2 mornings a week of Whitby. That leaves the equivalent of 4 days a week being the hired hand. Now at $15 an hour, 8 hours a day, that's $120 a day. Times 4 days a week, that's $480 a week. Times 50 weeks, that's $24,000. So I'd set my annual pay at around $64,000. In my mind's eye, that's in the ballpark of what you ought to be paying yourself. And these wages assume that the business is providing other perks like a vehicle, housing, health insurance, things like that. If you're spending 2 mornings a week working on your business and the rest of the time working in it, $60,000 to $70,000 is probably the minimum salary you ought to be paying yourself, or at least showing on the books, if you're ranching for profit.